What a labor of love this has been today. And we are to our final episode, which is probably going to be the hardest episode as I begin to highlight some things. You never know what life holds or what's going to happen. And one day you are floating on clouds, literally tiptoeing, moving across the earth. And out of nowhere, your foundation can be utterly ripped from you. And you're left hurling towards the earth at a million miles a second. And all you can do is try and brace for impact. And sometimes that impact feels like it takes forever to hit. And when you finally do hit, it hit hard. It hits hard. You're never able to. Normal is different. Normal has shifted. And you're left trying to figure out what normal means anymore. While I was deployed in Iraq, I lost my grandfather, Thomas Lewis Glass. And that was a tough thing to deal with while not being able to be with my family and attend his services. But we pushed through. In 2014, the lovely month of August, I received into my life another blessing from the highest heights of the heavens, and that is my love bug, that little beautiful girl in pink. I love that little girl so much, like I love all of my kids. Alanya embodies a person. She came here knowing who she is and has never allowed anyone to define her differently, and I absolutely love it. That is my little superstar. Love you, love bugs. Also, while in California as a soldier, I lost one of my uncles, my uncle Thomas, Tommy Glass. And it was a shock. I think we were all shocked by it. Not really prepared for it. And it's been something that has been a bit of a struggle to get past, to be honest with you all. But still, we pushed forward. And we attended the service. Our sisters, our niece, and me. We headed out towards Pacific, Missouri, and caught up with family and got to see family we hadn't seen in ages. We we were able to meet people, or actually re-meet people that knew us when we were kids and hadn't seen in decades of Sundays. And this picture here is my dad with my Aunt Myrna, my Uncle Ed, my cousin Keisha, uh, my Aunt Kathy, my older sister in the background, my cousin Bobby. And there's always a portion of joy when you're trying to make it through these situations, and you cling on to that, hoping that reality passes you by somehow. My cousin Lewis, and my little sister Kenzie, and Joanna, that second row and the front row. Again, it's my Aunt Kathy, my Aunt Loretta, my little grandma, my Aunt Annie. And the church was full of people that my uncle had touched through his gift of music or just friendship. Let me go back for a second. Actually, I'll stay on this picture. This picture, the one on the far left was my Uncle Dale at the podium. And I think that was the first time had ever been able to hear my Uncle Dale speak, and I was greatly impressed and surprised. And again, we pushed forward. And in 2016, my best buddy came here, the young man, the namesake of three of us, James the third, Bubby, what I like to call him, my best buddy. And so now, at this point in life, I have all four of my babies. I've got my Gabby, I've got my Sari, I've got my Lonnie, and I've got my Bubby. And I said that because our kids have become a focal point of progression and redefining and ensuring that I do right by them before I do right by anybody else. With the understanding that children are visitors, I absolutely adore my kids. And I've missed a lot of times with them for various different reasons. But what I can say is in 5 days, they'll have more of me than what they've had before. And again, we push forward. In July of 2020, I had to pause for a second. But in July of 2020, my oldest sister and I, we simultaneously got what can only be equated to the worst news we've at that time we've had to push through, and that was, I don't even want to say it now. Our younger sister had passed, and we had both had equal parts foundational understanding of who we were, just ripped away the blink of an eye. It's been easily one of the hardest things to just push through and soldier through, live through, close with my siblings. And so this was one of the times throughout my career where I was, and I never told anybody this, but I was horribly upset with the Army because I felt as though the Army removed me from my sister. I felt as if the Army hadn't made me go to this place so far away from my sister. I would have been able to be there with her and save her. I would have been able to talk her into holding on a little while longer. And it was selfish. And it's still selfish for me to think about that, especially understanding and knowing what she had been going through. But I was upset with the Army about that for years. I felt like I had sacrificed more than enough at that point. But as usual, had to find a way to continue to soldier forward, look as though I have a handle on things that are going on, and try and stay poised without letting go on too much. And so we celebrated the life of my sister, both in Chicago area as well as in St. Louis. And what it gave rise to was, at least for a small moment, an excuse to break away from soldiering and be present with family and enjoy, as hard as it was, enjoy the gift of being with family again. California is separated from everything else in the country. I don't care how you slice it. It takes for forever to get back to the rest of the world from freaking California. I've been to New York too, and New York It ain't the same feel. It ain't the same feel. California feels like a completely different world. I'm just throwing that out there. So now it's my older sister and me, but we're celebrating our our sister with family, and that's how we continue to push forward. Another great thing that happened from this horrible experience is I was able to, yep, that's my mother in that picture. For everybody who was looking at this and asking that. Yep. And Ricky and Alice and my Boba, Lance, Aaron, Marsha. Sometimes you just wish the gravity of reality would just pass you by and you don't have to be pinned down. From soldier to civilian, 8 days. This is the hardest episode, and I knew it was going to be. And I still got a lot left that I've got to pick through. I've got to go back and relive. But from this experience, I was able to reconnect with one of the greatest women I've ever known and have the pleasure to love. I was reconnected to my first love, Maya. And so from this, we reconnected and we have held on to each other. From my sister's memorial, even to now. And so as I continue to share, this is for future soldiers, soldiers who will be soldiers who don't just have 8 days left or 5 days left in the army, but you've got years left or you're just starting your journey. Just remember that don't sacrifice your family. Don't, if the army is demanding and it's going to easily be the most demanding thing that you've ever done. But every now and again, put the mission on hold for a second with yourself and enjoy the faces of the people around you. Enjoy your loved ones because once they're gone, they're never coming back. And the shoulda, woulda, couldas will leave you destitute and hurting. So again, from soldier to civilian in 8 days. As always, I appreciate you for taking the time to listen to my experiences. And I look forward to continuing tomorrow, where I will only have 4 days left in the United States Army. So I will see you all tomorrow. Have a good night.